Hi, so it's Tara here at Soul Star Travelers. I am with Jenny Funkmeyer today, and we are going to discuss soul retrieval methods in just a moment. We are going to be also covering multidimensionality. So here we go. Please join us, Jenny Funkmeyer. Zoom, she's flying in on her wings.
I'm flying in on my wings. Parallel
right.
University is my school.
Yes.
And yes, and I teach this stuff, multidimensional travel and things like that. So we are perfectly in line.
Great. Great.
Thank you for inviting me.
To join us here for part 2. Let's get some movement if you're able to. Jenny is a dancer. She is actually a Broadway dancer, former Broadway dancer. So go, Jenny. All right. Yes. All right. We're going to balance both sides of the body. Okay. Cross one way, cross the other. Cross one way, cross the other. That's right. Let's get the DNA dance. The DNA dance. Okay. We are the soul travelers. Okay. So whatever does that mean? Well, we will be explaining it more, but mostly it's people who want to learn more about themselves and we discuss health and happiness with soul. Today, we have been filming part 1 of Soul Retrieval with Jenny Funkmeyer. And we are going to continue now. We explained in part 1, if you didn't see it, what is the reasons that you need to do soul travel, or you don't need to, but you may want to do soul travel, and the reasons you may want to do soul retrieval. So that is all in part 1. If you haven't seen that, it's beautiful. Go and watch it. And now this time we're going to discuss in more detail. Jenny's going to tell us about the method of soul retrieval that she used and that she teaches. Jenny?
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. The soul retrieval technique I teach is a do-it-yourself. The shaman is in you, and you are going to split up into your present self and the soul that you want to retrieve, which is stuck in a repeating dramatic scene of trauma, hurt, betrayal, sometimes in happiness, like when your child was born or when you met a new friend. It's not always unhappy situation. Every situation has a bit of our soul in it, and you can go back, and that's what we're doing. Now, the soul retrieval technique has 3 main components. One is called neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. Your eyes, your memory has a specific place that is stored in your brain. The place, if you try it now, think about your mother when she's happy. Now, I want you to think about your mother when she's not happy. Okay. Please, once again, think about her when she's happy. Mm-hmm. One more time, she's not happy. Okay? Yeah. Now, notice where your eyeball is. Think of her not happy. Point to your eyeballs. Yeah. Okay. Take that away. Erase. Think of her happy. It's a different place. Right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that amazing? That's the basis of neuro-linguistic programming. You can replace a memory with a fresh information
Yeah.
by looking at that memory in different position, different perspective. Your mother is the same person, but she's in different places of your brain when she's happy and when she's not happy. So you can use neuro-linguistic programming technique, which is what we will use in the example of soul retrieval that I'm going to show you. And you know that is happening. Okay? It's automatic. You don't have to think about it. You just have to know this is happening.
Yeah, it happened to me automatically almost before you gave the command, so to speak.
Yes, yes. Wonderful, Tara. Our brain is a computer. It works exactly like a computer. Now, the computer came from our brain. Okay, it's not our brain is modeled after a computer. The brain is the original computer, and it begets a smaller thing called a computer.
Yeah.
It uses technology. Okay,
Yeah.
So your brain functions, if you think about your computer, exactly the same way, but it's much bigger, much more mysterious, much more powerful. And there's so many things we don't know about it. We are very blessed to be soulful beings. This is an incredible honor throughout all of creation, all of
Amen,
galaxy,
sister.
all
You
universe.
are on it. That is so true.
Yes, we being soulful, wise, bipedal, compute with this brain in our head, we are a very specific species that is super powerful, unlimited in our power and freedom. That's who we are. And that's what we are making sure every one of us is going to be like that. This is a technique, right?
Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
Second thing is called memory loop. A memory is a loop. Okay, a loop is a thing that doesn't end. Okay, it just goes in a merry-go-round that links the beginning and the end are linked, and it's just like this, and it just go
right,
like, right. You experience that every day. Now, when you do soul retrieval, that's how your memory works. It just stays in the same place. Okay, you're just, if you don't know to get out, it just goes in the same loop. It's like someone, yeah, it's like someone is in a room and you're like, and they're like going around and around, and you say, why don't you get out of the room? And they said, what, you can get out?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, there's a door right there, and you can just go out and you can go on other loops. You don't have to be in the same loop. And you're like, oh my God. That's what soul retrieval is. You go back to this memory loop that just keeps replaying the exact same scene, whether it's a poisonous bad scene or a wonderful scene, it just keeps going like that. And that's where your soul is trapped, in the middle of this hole. And you come and just pick the soul up and said, hello, do this, do this, do this, and then you won't be in the loop. And the soul said, I want to be in the loop. So, okay, let me put you back. And then the loop said, oh, I don't have to be here. Then the soul would get out on its own.
Okay, amen, sister. This is a great story of all time. I love this. Okay,
Amen.
and it's so true, because when you go to look, let me just give my own experience a little bit. When you go to look, you know, you're first curious. First of all, you're curious, right? Let me just see if I can change the view speaker. Okay, it's on speaker. Yeah, good. So so when you go to look, you get a chance to see what has happened, but you have to be at first curious of having something that you're curious about that you want to change, that you want to do, that you want to experience something better feeling, you know, or good, or just simply good feeling. Maybe you're feeling better right now, but you just want to feel good.
Yes, you
So,
are feeling better right now.
yeah,
Let me
so
guarantee you.
it's a homeostasis. So maybe you're like, okay, well, I want to learn more about myself. I mean, that's what star traveling is all about. Soul traveling is all about. And this really is soul star traveling. There is no better example than what you're about to explain is soul retrieval, the soul star traveling. It really, really is that exactly thing. So
Really.
there's no time and space, you know?
No.
La, 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 la. Yeah, and there's no time and space.
Everything is happening now. So that traumatic scene that is happening in your brain, that is in a loop, it's in your brain. And it's in a loop in your brain. And you must understand that that is not reality. Reality is you are a powerful, wise, ancient being, a mighty soul. That's who you are. The person who is in the brain having this loop,
sister, this is beautiful.
that is not you. So you are just trying to, okay, there's a loop going on here. It's like if a piece of dirt is stuck to your forehead, right? You're like, what is it? What is it? It's like, it's weird. You're like, it's a piece of dirt. You're like, oh, and now you can throw it out or put it back. That's
Jenny,
what it is.
I just have to say that you are absolutely right. I love your story, and you look like an elf from outer space with her beautiful, look at this outfit this woman has created. Okay, this is mashup. This is her own fashion that she's wearing right here. It's Elven. It's modern Elven, Elvish fashion. It's absolutely gorgeous. I just
Oh,
wanted
thank
to
you.
remind everybody. And exactly. Be inspired by this woman. She's amazing. Okay, so there you go.
Thank you, Tara. That's so
Soul
nice.
Star Travelers of ElvenWorld. Yes, we are.
Star travel in ElvenWorld, me and Miss Tara. We travel in the ElvenWorld, Miss Tara. We travel,
You know, star to star, you know, we go from our, you know, we get around.
We get around.
Absolutely do.
We are soul travelers. There's no time and space. We're just going around and around in experiencing and enjoying all of creation, all of reality.
And being ambassadors of our beautiful planet, you know?
Yes, about planet. This is our home planet. No matter where, I know I'm from somewhere else, but I call this my home. I've been here long enough, and I call this human species my species now. You know, because I identify with this. I really love who I am and what I have learned in this life to continue my evolution of my soul and to continue my soul traveling. Okay.
Thank you very much. Amen, sister. Continue with the lesson.
So the third component is talk therapy. You know about talk therapy.
Yeah.
What you're doing is talking to yourself. Okay. You are both the person lying down and the person in the chair talking to the patient. And also sometimes it switches place. The patient gets up and sit down as a therapist, and therapist go down, right? Because you are the same person, but there is many, many different variations of you. You are not one personality. You are many, many personalities because your soul is huge and it encompasses everything. So in it, you can make one part of yourself the therapist and another part of yourself the person that is getting the therapy, and then the role switches. Now, it's really good to understand that, not to be too stuck in the roles, not to be too stuck about anything. But actually, this problem only comes up because we're talking about the process right now. When you do the process, it's integral, it's fast, it's easy. Your soul knows exactly what to do. We are only giving you some pointers of how to do it. Your soul, you will make this method your own, and you will do many, many of them and come to really good results. Yeah. So right now, I want to give an example of how it works. Okay. So the first part is called gathering the miss bits. Okay. So you will have a real life situation. For example, you are at work or at school, and your teacher just comes to you and just yell at you. And you're like, oh, teachers are not supposed to yell. You feel very insulted. And then your classmates are laughing. And you are very, very upset. So you can't do anything about it. You don't know what to do. So you wait till you have a chance to sit down in meditation, or just have a nice place to just feel safe and be by yourself, and close your eyes and go into a meditation. That's when we soul travel. We get out of our first body, our physical body, and we enter our second body, our spirit body, our soul body. Once you're there, you are not in time, you're not in space, you are a free-floating spirit. At that place, you can do so many things to help your physical self. So then you sit down and you go into the scene where your teacher is yelling at you. Okay? Then you freeze the scene. You can do that. We are all experienced filmmakers because we watched movies. That is our language. The filmmaking language comes from our computer brain. Okay, it works exactly like the computer. You can have freeze frame. You know how to do freeze frame. The movie is going. You just press the pause button and it suddenly goes, right? And if you want it a few frames forward, you just go choo 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 choo. You want it to go back, you go choo 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 choo. That's how it works. That's how your memory works.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, that's it. You can, just like a movie, you can also fast forward. One day you're 5 years old, you're 15. You can examine both when you're 5 and when you're 15 at the same time, right?
Yeah.
That's called fast forward. Now you can also rewind. You rewind. You are 30 years old. You rewind till you're 5. Now you're over here. You see, as in your meditation, you have unlimited power in manipulating this story.
You can see it like a movie.
Yes, in your mind. The movie is in your mind.
Like your imagination, only it's your memory.
Yes, memory is imagination. It's all just in this computer. It is not what actually happened. What actually happened was seen from many points of view, and it has many reasons it happens. It only happens because the entire universe is aligned in a certain way in which that thing that happened to you happens. Okay, so whatever that happened is actually in the now. It's mysterious, and it's happening. It's happening. So when you go back to retrieve a certain elements from it, which is what we're doing now, you are actually reframing that reality to suit your understanding better. So what you do is you go to the scene and you freeze the scene. You freeze the scene so everybody is like that. They don't move. If they're punching you, you stop the scene before the punch hits you. Like,
oh my God.
You know how powerful that is? The first time you do that, Tara, have you done
I
it?
just did it just now and I just freaked out. I'm a little freaked out right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I think I might like cry or something. It's like, whoa. This incident just went, whoa, you know, like, because you're looking at it. What I suddenly, when you were doing that face, I suddenly was like, oh my goodness, what was my face at the time, this specific trauma that happened to me? What was the look on my face? And I just got blown away. You know, I mean, I can't even describe it, you know what I mean? It's just
Wow.
like, wow. So let's just hold on a second,
That,
just get both
that is
sides balanced.
so powerful. That is so powerful, Tara. Take a moment here. It's a really big moment for your soul
Yes,
that you actually freezed it. That means you broke the memory loop.
right.
Okay.
Oh, it's
You
powerful.
it's very powerful. You just broke the loop open.
Right.
Okay. There's a new technique called CRISPR right now. We can take the DNA and we can break it at the exact point we want, take out a certain component and put in another component. That's how they're going to make designer babies. By the way, it's the same technique. That's what you're doing, Tara. You just broke the memory loop. You're
Yeah,
like, wow.
you can, that's why you can feel it at the cellular level, because you're basically, when you're talking about DNA, I mean, it's so ironic that I happen to be teaching 7th grade science right now, which is all about DNA. So, you know, DNA is this right here, right? It's a
Yes.
double helix. And so, and each of those like sort of holes, moving holes, right, is where it matches. That's why what you're saying. So that's what's broke. One of those, you know, neurosynapses or whatever.
Yes, yes, yes. This is a scientific understanding. Very good, Tara, Miss
Yeah,
Tara.
it's very interesting.
It's a scientific understanding of what actually happens in your brain easily, automatically, without any teaching or anything. It just works that way. The scientific understanding of it actually comes after the fact that we've been doing this on our own since the beginning.
Oh, that's such a good point. Yeah, no, I hear you. That's true. That's so true. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
I am really impressed that Tara, you do these soul work very easily. You learn very quickly and it applies to you immediately. That is because you have a very free soul. You recognize your soul, you understand that you are a soul traveler, you are a soul star, and that is so much easier than most people who only identifies with their body and their mind. So they think what they think is them. No, that's the brain. So they think what's happening to their body is them. No, that's the body. You are not your body and not your mind.
Right.
And you, Tara, Miss Tara, you are very free, very wise, ancient, and you can do soul retrieval very quickly, and it's very effective for you. I think that's why.
I have good friends
Mhm.
and yeah, because I have good friends like you.
You have good friends like me, and you're surrounded by very good people because you are a good person.
And may I add that anyone watching this has like arrived here by a heavenly method and is one of us, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
If you're here, you are a soul traveler, and maybe, you know,
Mm-hmm. And you have found your home.
let's go where, yeah, you're welcome home. Welcome to our kitchen. This is what we do. We're literally in the kitchen of our homes, you know, talking. So that's what we're talking about, health and happiness. And health and happiness is what soul traveling is all about. And that is why, just to kind of summarize where we're at so far, is that you can honor yourself by whatever methods you choose. But one way that we have found is amazing is this you sort of recalling incidents and replacing the loop, which is what I just now experienced a few minutes ago. What Jenny was referring to as breaking the loop. And
Yes.
I went free from that, and now we're going to keep going, but the idea is, but what happened, the reason why that happened for me is because I was looking, I pictured it in my mind the same way I picture in my imagination when I write a book or something like that. And it's great practice to use your imagination.
That's right. A writer, actor, painter, those abilities are inside us. You don't have to be a professional writer, but it is your imagination, and it's working and it's playing at all times. Whether you know it or not, it's just functioning. It's just who you are. You are a mighty soul. You are just a mighty soul. You're just a wonderful, fun person having this experience. It's like, what? It's wonderful. You are like that, Miss Tara. You are a very good example of that. Bouncing back through multiple traumas and keep coming back, and your soul getting bigger and bigger and wiser, and you know things. And your improvement as a soul is global. It's not just one aspect of you getting better. That's why when people are looking for results, they're like, I must have, I must be better if I am doing all this work. Yes, you're better, but the whole world is better because of your work. So sometimes you may not see it in you, but then over time you will notice. What you notice is
true.
Yes, it's a global improvement.
That get sung, the voices that get resounded, the questions that get asked, the prayers that get made, the friendships of holding somebody, the moments of connection that we have here on earth are absolutely so precious. So precious. That's what we're here for.
Beautiful. Okay, let's continue with the process, because I have introduced the first step. There's 3 steps. First step is notice something you need to change in your current environment. So number 2, so you take that moment of, I want to know why I reacted that way. Okay, you take that question. You take that. Sometimes you can't formulate what it is, but it's a thing that begs your attention. So you sit down into meditation, you give it attention. You bring that scene back in your mind, like a movie. You freeze it at the high point. If you're being punched, you stop the punch, and now you can move, but the punch is frozen. The person who's punching you is frozen like that. And you, who are about to get punched, can move away. Now, this is the 3rd step. You move away and you start going around 360 degrees from the back, from the side, from the front, from the top, and from the bottom too. You're looking at the entire scene. If it involves just you and another person, you're looking at it in a 2 shots, in an overhead, in close-ups. Do you understand these filmic language? Overhead is when you see just the head down, and you see the shoulders from the top. When you see a close-up, it's like this. That's the punch. All you see is, just this close things. You can also have a 2 shot to the punch and the person. You can also have, then you can have something called long shot. You back out and you see, for example, the boss yelling at you, the whole office is looking, and some people are going like that, and some people are like, some people are like, you back up and you see the whole office looking at the two of you. There's just been an argument and somebody got punched, you know, it's like, wow. Now everything is frozen. Everybody is like that. Huh? Now you take time to examine each person, each thing takes as long time as you can. Some very, very traumatic scene takes many soul retrieval to see all the different angles and all the different reasons and things that are happening in that moment. That's a moment, but it has, from that moment, there is a cause. When the hands are apart, when the hands are together and the hands go out again, you are slowing all this down so that you can see how it comes together and how it goes apart. So that's an exploration that you should take as much time as you need. And it's so fun is to see things. Insights will come to you as you're seeing. Like Tara said, I imagine being punched and I imagine my face. Oh my God, the shock, the hurt.
Does anybody like get upset? You know, when you're kind of reliving the trauma. So what do you think about that? I mean, should you have someone with you or just be in a safe place or?
My method is that you freeze the scene and you yourself, as the soul star is traveling around this scene, you are not in the scene. It's not affecting you.
Oh.
You are the observer.
Oh, I see.
So you get upset. Yes. Yes, it's so important. It's a very important aspect because there is an observer in you and there is the observed. Ultimately, you are neither. You are the Holy Ghost. You are the absolute, but that's something else. We'll talk about that some other time. Right now, separating in the duality that you are looking at yourself. If you close your eyes, you can see yourself clearly. So who is that other person? That's the one. Sometimes it's that one. Sometimes it's you living the life. So you are not affected. It's like you see a car accident, you go, whoa, and you're like, wow, oh, you know, you're looking at it. You're not the one who got, you know, involved in the car accident. You're not the one driving the car being hit, nor the car hitting someone. You're the one who's standing on the roadside going, wow, oh, jeez, oh, right? So that's what happens. If you are very affected, you need to go back and to perfect the meditation technique that you're looking at yourself. So at Parallel University, we practice. I might have taken you to look at yourself from every angle. This is a language that you have to learn. This is a tool that you have to know how to do. You have to know how to observe.
Yeah, how to observe. That's beautiful. That's beautiful because then you can rely on the technique instead of, oh, you know, I have to have somebody to hold my hand or something like that. No, you've got the technique. You know that you can do it with this tool. You know, if I'm trying to bash my way through the forest to get to the water, you know, I want to have the right tools.
Yes. That's a really, really good point. It's really good point that you need the right tools that's what the soul
or
is
some
here.
tool. I mean, you could get a different tool if you want to, as long as it works. But the point is you need to have a tool that you can depend on because, or, you know, you have to depend on something else because that's kind of hard to do by yourself.
So I want to say that my path is called the I am path, is do it yourself path. I think shamans, healers, doctors, they are wonderful, but when it's really comes down to very important things, and even God, you cannot rely on anyone else. The only person you can call on at all times, before history begins, after history ends, is your own soul, is yourself. It has never left you. It cannot leave you. It is you.
I'm going to do a poetic dance to this beautiful poem you're saying right now.
Thank you. It's, if you rely on a shaman, you have to go to the shaman. And what if middle of the night, you have this traumatic thing comes up and you couldn't go to the shaman? Well, dang, the shaman is sleeping with you right there, right? Middle of the night, you need help. Who is going to help you? Me, yourself. That's what it is. The I am path. There is no one. Everybody, God is great. Shaman is great. Doctors are great. Healers are great. Friends are great. Lovers are great. Mothers, parents are great. Teacher, they are all wonderful. But there is one person, never leaves you, loves you 100%. All it wants, all this person wants is your happiness. That's yourself.
Yes, which I just want to make a timeout. So if you're not in love with yourself, then you probably want to do something about it, because being in love with yourself is the norm. Just so anyone knows, everyone knows that I mean, that's like that's where a human has the right to be, right?
So for example, if you're like, I don't like myself, I really hate myself, I think I'm a stupid girl, right? You're like, okay, all right. First of all, the person who is listening, yourself, listening to yourself, thinking like that, that's the brain, right? Again, the eyeball is looking at some place and the brain has gone on. You have to understand, you are not a stupid girl. You are not the person not in love with yourself. You are the person who is not stupid and in love with yourself. So the brain is thinking some loop. It's in a loop of some kind. You must separate the fact that your brain, you're not your brain, you're not that thought, you are the one thinking, observing that thought. Yes, Tara, isn't that amazing? You are perfect. Anything that's not perfect is not you. So let's take a look at what it is and let's change it. If I don't like it, if I like it, I'll keep it. And in fact, anything that hurts me, I will have it for as long as I like, so that I can enjoy it. It's like both good things or bad things. Well, there they are, oh, it's over here, it's over there. That's you. That's your wonderful soul that you are. You're like, oh yeah, wow, that thing happened over there when I was 15, and now you have the wisdom of that for eternity. How great is that? That terrible moment, you isolate it, you fixed it, you looked at it, you understand it, and you move on. So that's what soul retrieval is. You're going to be, you just improve over and over and over. And this process does not end. It does not end when you are non-physical. It keeps going. It's a soul star. You are going. Never ends, always in the now, always fresh, always here. That's who you are. So that's what soul retrieval will bring you. Now, let's continue. What happens when you observe yourself and you freeze everything, okay? We're coming to the next step.
What's the next step?
You go in and you pull yourself out. Now, this is something that takes a little practice, but Tara, you have done it, so you must have done that. You pull yourself out of the scene. Being punched, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
You go out. You literally go out. You take yourself.
Doing the observation. The observation is how you go out. The observation is how you go out.
The observer pulls the body out of that scene. Okay.
Right. It's totally quantum physics, because you are the observer and you choose, right? So you inadvertently, like right, wrong, or different, boom, boom. So now you just go back to being the observer and go a different way, which is also could be another dimension, but we don't know. So we'll talk about
It is
that
a different
more
dimension. It is
another
a
time.
soul retrieval happens in a different dimension. You are actually linking the physical dimension with the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, higher dimensions. It's all 3, 4, 5D is happening at the same time when you're doing a soul retrieval, and it seamlessly moves back and forth. You don't have to even know what's happening. You follow the protocol and the thing is done, and you don't need to look for result. There'll be a global improvement to your entire soul and to the entire reality that you are functioning, because the reality is actually your soul. Everything you see is part of your soul. So everything is going to improve because of your work. And it's not, you're not specifically looking for anything. You're just doing the work, doing the work, doing the work, and that's all, right?
Doing the work, doing the work, doing the work, doing the work.
Doing the work, doing the work, doing the work, you know, which also means playing, playing, playing. You know, if you're lucky, if you know how to do your life well, your work is actually your play. Okay, whenever you don't feel like work is your play, you should stop until it feels like play again. But again, we're talking about utopia. So let's continue with the process.
Oh, there's more steps?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So you pull yourself out. You see, it's a long process, and it has these very specific components that has to be reached. Like, for example, when I ask you to imagine a scene, the scene just comes automatically to you. Okay, a lot of times it happens like that. There might be a trigger during the day, but when you go into meditation and you said, give me a scene, thing, something will show up. Like Miss Tara, the scene just came up, right? You're like, whoa, my face looked like that. So what you do is now you freeze that, and now you take yourself out whose face is like that, you know, going to be hit, you know, being betrayed and all the hurt. So now it's very important. There's the observer who did not go through that human story. It is the body that went through the human story. So somebody needs help. You inside needs help. You pull her out, you embrace her, you do whatever you need to give her comfort. Like, oh my God, it's like a good friend or your daughter.
It's not gender specific, by the way. He, him, them, whatever.
Them, you know. Should I use them? I could use them.
Well, you're talking about me, so you're doing it as if you're doing it for me. So her is totally appropriate. But I just want listeners to know that yeah, it's everybody.
It's not gender specific, of course. When I talk, I never think of myself as a male soul or a female soul. I'm a soul. So to me, to like specifically say it's a she or it's a he, this soul,
I know.
It's language, and language is confusing. So, you know, we have to use it. We are in 3D and we have to use language, but language is very, it's not, the language is not what it's pointing to. A soul is this incredible thing, and then she is a word. See, that's the difference between a soul and the word she. And the word soul, actually. Soul is S-O-U-L, you know. But your soul is not S-O-U-L. What are you talking about? It has nothing to do with the word. So now the same thing is happening. There's one of you that is hurt. One side of you is hurt. The brain is retaining this memory, and it's in a loop hurting your current self who is looking at it. For the first time, slow it down, stopped it, remove the body from it. You see how powerful it is? You completely broke open the loop that is going on. Now it goes like that, right? It's going like that now because it's still a loop. So now you then talk to this body that has gone through this experience like a good friend, like a healer, like a teacher, like a lover, whatever it needs, like a mother. talk therapy. Talk therapy takes a long time. People go with a therapist for 20, 30 years. So you should go with your own therapist, the therapist inside you for 20, 30 years. I think, why should you stop? Why should you ever stop talking to yourself about what just happened? Like, wow, over the years, you're going to learn so much more from this experience, right? So now the two of you are talking, the observer and the body and the observed are in one, conversing. And notice what that means. DNA, life is happening now. Observer, observe, the duality is broken. You are one.
Right.
Duality is broken, then you're now just one person. So there you'll come to, again, these, because we're just talking about the process, we're going to do the process after the talk. It's very magical and you can't predict what happens. And sometimes it's very fast and sometimes it's very slow. And sometimes the soul bit, we call it the soul bits that's been broken off, the observed, is very reluctant and want to hang on to the trauma. They, Carolyn Mass has a very good book. Why do people not heal? People not heal because they really treasure their illness. They want it. Otherwise, you say, wow, no, I don't want it. Yes, there's some part of you that wants it. And if you know which part it is, it doesn't mean the illness will go away, because it takes illness a long time to come together, and the body sometimes can't just go right back. But the understanding of it will take the suffering away. Okay, so
yeah, I would change the word want to need, because the psyche, you're part of.
You need it. Thank you.
You're part of a whole experience. Yes. You're not.
You're right. I use the word want because I'm a very powerful thinker who believes in myself, and I rather give myself the power that is something I want than that is something I don't understand and I need. But yes, I think it's also true that is something my soul needs, and I cannot resolve it in one soul retrieval session. Sometimes it takes 20 sessions on the same subject over a period of 10 years to fully digest it. But then once it's digested, the illness will dissolve. The illness will dissolve. Sometimes it requires death. I know I'm radical.
Okay, well, there's some things we can't say on YouTube, so just, well, yeah, I mean, just think about, like the way, like, I don't want people to misunderstand. What you mean is that, spiritually, as you look at something again and again, as you look at something, it will disappear, or you will see it from a different point of view. That's basic science. It doesn't mean that we're not here to do any of the things about medicals or whatever, all of that is a different place. All right.
Wonderful. So continuing with the soul retrieval process, then there's a period of talk therapy. You have conversed with each other, you understand what's going on, and now you ask the soul bit what it wants to do. Okay. You say to it, well, I'm more powerful, I'm your imagination, and I can make any scene happen. What do you want happen? So, the ideas are so many. There's so many other scenarios that the soul wants happen that is not happening. Your imagination comes through and make each of them a reality in your mind. The soul might say, oh, this person who is hitting me, I want them to fall down trip on themselves and punch their own face. Done. Whoa, it's happening like that. It's like, whoa. And you'll be surprised. A part of your soul is really comforted by that and laughing.
Yeah, it's like a funny movie.
It's like a funny movie. It turns it into something else. And that's how the brain works. Every time you bring up a piece of old memory, you are actually infusing it with the power of now.
And that's why comedy is so therapeutic.
Therapeutic. It's no longer in your head and it's in there. And now you can make it a slapstick. You can make it a comedy, or you can make it a drama. You can make it a tear-jerking drama. You go and you grab the person who is, punching you and just shake them and said, what's wrong with you? I love you. I love you. Why are you doing this? You stupid. Come on. Wake up. Like that. It's such an incredible, you are the star of your movie. You are the star of your own reality show. Oh my God. Don't give the power away. Don't give the stardom to someone else. Just be this mega star of your own movie. You come to do that. You come to be the star of your own reality show. So, okay. Now,
so
the soul and you have talked, and the soul has requested, the soul bit has requested something else to happen, and it happened. And now the final step, you ask the soul bit if it wants to stay in this scene or come with you to the present.
Yeah.
Now, this part mustn't be rushed. And also you can't say, oh yeah, of course. The soul might say yes, and sometimes it says no. You're like, well, mom needs help in this scene and I want to stay here until she's helped. Okay. When you hear that, you're like, okay, what does mom need? Let me do it for you right now. You're like, no, I can't do it right now. I got to do it later. Okay, I will come back for you. So that's what you tell the soul bits who would not come back with you, to say, I will come back to you. I will
check in with you later.
I will check in with you. I will have so many visitation with you. I will never let you go. I will always be there and make sure you are okay. So just stay back and just let your soul be there. And if it didn't come back with you, that soul bit, you need more soul retrieval on this scene. Like I said, sometimes hundreds of soul retrieval on the same subject for years. But then one day, you ask the soul, would you like to come with me back to 2024, March 1st, who I am today? I am you. You are, you are in this scene. You're only 15 years old, but I am 30. I have 15 years, live 15 years more. Come with me. Let's make a new day on March 1st, 2024. And the soul might say, okay, let's go. Then now you bring the soul through a tunnel of time back to here, and you ask the soul to dissolve into your heart. Then the soul bit that has been lost in that scene, that has been trapped in that memory loop, is now recovered in you. The incredible thing is that piece of memory will no longer hurt you. It almost as if it happened like a movie. And that is a guaranteed results. So that's the entire process. We talked about it. We can also do it, so we can show it to you. It might be part three.
That's okay. I mean, it's pretty necessary to explain it carefully enough that people can actually do it.
It actually, at Parallel University, we used to do it you know, many, many, many times, explain it over and over again, asking questions. And, you know, after a period of time, a group of people will actually graduate. They're like, "Whoop," they no longer have questions.
Yeah.
That's what I call global improvement. It's like when you're good, when you're well, I ask people, how do you feel healthy? Oh, healthy? You don't know how healthy feels. You know what sick feels.
Right.
Being
Isn't that
healthy
something?
is how it's supposed to be. So that's the process. Would you like to go through it again, or?
No, I think it's good. I'm going to put it in the description box, you know, like how to get to the book, so that since it's free, it's just easier for somebody to just download the book. And
Download the book. Download the book. It's free. It's 40 pages and it's free.
yeah,
And
and
so
exactly.
it's called DIY Soul Retrieval by Jenny Funkmeyer. You go to Amazon books, type this in, DIY Soul Retrieval by Jenny Funkmeyer, and it will pop up. And
Good.
it's a
And if you need something else, you can always put it in the chat box, or if you have a question, you know.
yes, it's a free download. On the website also is the birth of Parallel University, my experience of starting the school with the help of an angel that is still with me today. And the book called Parallel University Book of Games. Book of Games has 8 very amazing psychic games. Psychic reading, ghost busting, time travel, spoon bending, lucid dreaming, and hear your spirit guide. These are games that you can play that help you.
That's incredible. What a great book. Those are very fun things to practice. Spoon bending really does happen.
Did you do it with
Fun
me,
game.
Tara?
I mean, you know, what else, you know, like sometimes you just need to relax and play a game, you know, everything is not so urgent, you know, let's just chill it out and have a good time. Okay, so today we have gone over, I believe it is 6 steps to soul retrieval. And you can get those in the book by Jenny Funkmeyer, Do It Yourself. She's a soul star traveler with me. All right.
Soul Star
So
Travel.
we are going to, I have to think about this a little bit, you know, on the do it on this example. And also, we are going to do that in part 3. Part 3, we will talk more about soul star traveling. All right,
Okay.
my friends.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for
Bye.
having me on your show. And I'm very, very honored. Thank you. So we'll continue.
We're honored to have you. Thank you so much for being here. This has been incredible. I have learned so much. What a wonderful lesson so far, and I promise to have Jenny back.
Okay, thank you.
Amen, sister. Woo-woo.
Amen, sister. Wonderful. Woo, 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 woo.
Infinity dance. All right. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you to Jenny, and thank you for listening. Soul Star Travelers of ElvenWorld is where you can learn more about yourself and the healing arts of music, dance, poetry, soul travel, soul health, and happiness. I'm Tara. I'm a poetess and I serve as an interdimensional and interfaith minister. Also, I'm the author of romantic elven adventures and metaphysical stories. Soul Star Travelers is a place loving words have been spoken, songs have been sung, and graceful geometric movements have been painted on canvas, on the earth directly, and through the air. The healing arts are here for that reason, to focus your wishes and prayers, or as it is sometimes called, magic. So may the ripples of love from this heart to yours be felt in these simple presentations. Thank you again. I'm Tara, Soul Star Traveler. Join me.